Indeed it does. Indeed it does. And he should have a pretty nice matchup too against an Invoker. You've got a 15 base damage advantage to start the laning phase. That is just unreal when players of this skill go up against one another. And I gotta say, Virtus.pro, their draft, relatively simple. I think they're gonna have a free farm Tiny as well. And then they're gonna hunt.
Yeah, I mean, you don't sort of see them having any issues in the laning stage? Like, are there any sort of lane matchups that might be a bit tough for them?
Perhaps if you overstep, you know, Clockwork can be really annoying to deal with, especially for a hero like Underlord. But my concern is that I look at Spirit's lineup, and I just don't see easy ways for them to make plays, to find kills. I agree with what Brian and Cap are saying. I'd love to see an Export Invoker. But if you do that, what's the play, right?
Sure,
it's
who's
just
the play
Sunstrike setups with Shadow Demon, and like that's how you're gonna kill things. It's just a lot of combo required.
Well, let's see here, around the runes. Team Spirit. Well, they are gonna force Nightfall away here from the top one, so Spirit. We'll start off with the 3 bounties.
The cast point improvements, the only reason you can get that off used to be I don't think you could cast that while Flock was on top of you.
Well, let's see. I mean, obviously on this top lane, with the fact that they are running the GPK morph, you know, having this safe lane, Tiny, are you a fan of this sort of dynamic when it's a good game, sort of have that carry hero in the mid,
oh yeah,
in the hands of someone like GPK, and then get Nightfall to be that, you know, that hero that's going to be secured safe lane farm with the build up for his first time, you know, getting that blink early on, and then he's just going to be looking to make plays.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I think if you can get away with it, it's way better to have your win condition in the mid lane.
Yeah.
And Tiny, all he needs is Blink Dagger level 10. So keep that in the safe lane. You know, it's pretty impossible to really punish a Tiny, even if you fall behind the lane. Like a toss back is always threatened. This is a bit rough though. Save is not doing well. That could be a courier, but he actually ignores it completely.
Wants to make sure he gets out of the range of Miposhka. Miposhka was able to get him with another battery shot. I mean, he might still save.
He's just dead.
He has got boots as well himself. It's going to be close. Can he get enough hits in Miposhka? One more. He's got it. Wow. First blood there. Save just a little bit all over the place there with his movement down there around the clock.
Yeah, that was very weird. He just got effectively solo killed. He might know that there's a ward there. I think that was the main reason Miposhka was able to continue chasing in that.
Yeah.
But still, you don't expect that. You don't see it every day.
No, and I like this as well from Miposhka instigating the wind lay sent out as well, so now he's easily going to have that movement speed advantage.
Oh. Oof, big snake. That's so huge for Medusa because you just get full mana right off the bat. I like this build from Yotaro too. I see a lot of Medusas just going for the heavy stats, but yeah, looks like double Wraith into Treads, into Rush Manta. It's such a good item now on Deuce after the change. You have so much more uptime, more damage output from the illusions as well. It's the hero I think most impacted by the Manta change. In second place, perhaps this one right here, the Morphling.
No.
I'd say Luna, but Luna I don't believe in as a hero. Needs a lot more than a Manta change.
And we're seeing this mid lane matchup. It's pretty much as you said. You know, this is what you expect. I mean, this is maybe a bit more brutal than you'd expect. You know, we're seeing 13 to 9 against the 6 for 0, or this.
Mate,
this is just
look at the damage. Click the heroes. Like, how are you supposed to outlast hit somebody that has, you know, an extra 2 creeps where he can kill it and you can't? Like, that's an impossible creep for Invoker to last hit because Morph can kill it. He misses that one, unfortunately, for my point. But Invoker can't deny.
It's hard. It's very tough. But this is something as well that you got to take into account. Like Spirit, you know, they know the matchup. They would have known that this was going to happen,
yeah,
right? They put this mid. Their game plan, you know, for them, it doesn't matter that the Invoker has a tough lane because they picked this into this.
Maybe. Oh, I think he's maybe dead. DM. Oh, wow.
He's actually going to get away, and it'll actually be Miposhka taken down. Same time, top lane collapse. He's going to get the spear back onto Nightfall.
Oh, he threw the tree.
They actually got the damage. They'll take out his courier. Nightfall's got the Fairy Fire, but there's a lot of poison stacking up and enough to bring Nightfall down. They'll get the kill done, Team Spirit. Collapse. He wants to get another. In fact, with the spear up, he might just be able to do so. Has to set him onto Kingslayers. Team Spirit there. with a straight-up outplay, take out the two of them.
Really well done. The only thing really going wrong for Spirit right now is that the mid lane's a disaster.
Sure. I mean, and that's, as I say, that they knew that this was going to happen. So if you consider that, well, you
GPK is a bit of an X factor. It's the same when you play against a lot of these top tier guys. You know, suddenly a matchup that you thought was maybe a losing one, but bearable. Well, then it's Sumail or it's GPK or it's Thompson. You're like, damn, this is way more imbalanced than I thought it was.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they were expecting to get a little more out of the matchup because it is indeed proving to be very tough for Toronto Tokyo. You see again down bottom, very close to bringing down DM. This top lane, really nice call as well, especially we'll see this play that Team Spirit make after getting Nightfall. You know, Collapse knowing that there's still more work to be done. He may be sitting around on sub 100 HP, but he knows with a wraparound and a good spear, there's another kill to be had.
Yep. Really nice play. 1000 HP level 4 with the bracer. Nice stuff.
We'll see here around the mid, Maposhka.
This is really nice. If you control Morph's runes, makes the Quaswex Invoker significantly stronger. You're always hitting the Tornado EMP.
We'll see, you know, I think we will see Toronto Tokyo now starting to catch up a little bit now that the levels are coming in. He's got a bit more to play with in the lane. We'll see how much of the gap he can close whilst it still remains in this 1v1 mid.
So far, all three lanes going VP's way. Even though they are a bit down in kills, CS is on point. And the concern I have is that it's one of those games where VP have no incentive to mix up the lanes until they have, you know, items online. Support's level 6, Tiny with a blink. I don't know if Spirit can afford to let them do that, but at the same time, how are you going to make rotations? It's going to have to be the Invoker TPing to a side lane.
Sure.
You're not going to make a play on Morphling in this game. You just don't have the stuns.
And top, seeing Collapse is struggling a little bit to get in onto the creeps. The gap continuing to grow between him and Nightfall in this 2v2.
I think he saw that ward. Yeah, you see the toggle. Sentry just came in. They're going to find this.
Just keeping your Toro on his toes here. Hard to make a move on him though, with Maposhka by his side. Top lane, Nightfall. They got the damage. Oh!
You didn't click that.
He didn't need to land it. He didn't need to land it. They get the kill.
I don't know why you can click it. It's not a boomerang. You know, there's no tracking component to a tree. But, yeah, targeted ability.
I'll see Collapse. Eyeing up Kingslayer here. He's got the level 3 spear, and he's got the connection.
Wow.
He's got the damage. Just able to straight up walk in and take him down. Nightfall comes in with the combo. And now he's going to end up taking a lot of damage as well himself. With the poison upon him, Nightfall has to back off. And both teams just sort of finding opportunities to just walk down these poor supports.
Yeah. Surprised he allowed that to happen. Nice job. I think Mira will get that stack. Did not.
You see in mid. Going in aggressively here to try and play around the EMP. But honestly, with things said and done, this mid lane, you see it on the net worth. You know, Toronto Tokyo, he catches up. You know, this is why they picked this Invoker. He knows that even with the tough, you know, few waves that he's going to have on the early levels, once the game starts to pick up a bit and the Invoker's got his skills ready to go, Toronto Tokyo, he's easily able to start closing that gap on GPK's farm.
Yep. Oh, he's doing good. Pushing the tower is really nice in this scenario too. He knows he can push GPK back to base, so get some pressure off in the meantime. A big part of it, I think, though, is the Clockwork controlling the runes. 2 of them have been denied to GPK. When you're a Bottle Rush Morphling, that's pretty devastating. You don't want to be forced to buy regen. Whereas Quaswex Invoker, you get free regen thanks to the Quas spam, and then later you're just burning mana consistently. Gets 3rd damage on tower while GPK's gone. Not bad.
No, he's playing this really well at Toronto Tokyo. GPK, he's going to try and get in aggressive, but Toronto Tokyo more than okay. Bottle charges and Verifier ready to go. Save does come across, but unlikely to get in on this. It's just going to be around these 8-minute rune spawns. See what's there to be found, and it is down bottom. So again, Team Spirit with the superior rune control.
Ooh. I didn't realize there was a bottle invoker. We don't see that very often at all. Right?
No, for sure. No, it is something a bit different. I guess this is just down to the fact that they know, as you said, they're going to prioritize just stopping the morph, getting his runes so much that, you know, why not play with the benefit of using that regen for yourself?
That's true, and you don't have any other heroes in your team that are buying bottle. Maybe the clock would, but definitely want to have at least one core with it. Such a valuable item.
No, very solid stuff from Team Spirit around this mid.
The typical passivity we've come to expect from the Eastern European region, though. You know, very methodical game on both sides. This is the first time we've really seen anybody switch lanes, and it's just for some pokes from the Willow. Doesn't need to help his Underlord too much anymore. DM is actually enormous. Early Hood, Arcanes, skipped the Soul Ring. He had such a good time. He'll have a Hood finish momentarily, and then he just straight up doesn't die. Yeah. Like, he's pressuring the Medusa. Look at the amount. Hang on.
Again with the setup onto Toronto Tokyo. Not going to be able to take him down, but Poshko to push back the Dark Willow here with the Cogs. They've got the Cold Snap and the MP down onto GPK. GPK, he's out of mana. They're running him down. Kingslayer and Save trying to help out. He will not be able to turn around with that final bit of burst of mana, but still keeps the distance. Doesn't want to get in onto Mirror. Save actually taking a lot of damage here from the neutrals as well. Save's gone. Tries to dive in to push them back, but ends up losing his life for it. Time's been brought now for Collapse to swing across from the top lane. Kingslayer, he's not getting out either. As Team Spirit, they've got the numbers. They're able to turn things around, set Toronto Tokyo up for a double kill, as this mid lane is just going better to better.
I mean, why did they stick around, Owen? That was wild. Like, you had 3 heroes, VP, or Spirit rather, like, they brought 4. And not just that, you're trying to, like, dive with a Willow and an AA. Like, Morphling doesn't have the damage to close kills here, and Invoker Clock alone provide more than enough damage and disruption. Very odd maneuver there, but it does buy some space. You know, top lane was pushed in by Nightfall, now he TPs, and they'll probably get a free tier 1 out of this. Just stand behind DM, let him hit it. Has the Hood. He's not really a target for anybody anymore. But Dusa will do the same.
Yep.
The old switcheroo.
Straight up to the top half. And so far, a 6-2 1K lead. You are looking at this mid area. They're playing around their Invoker very nicely. You know, as you sort of saying on the panel, it's this game for Spirit. It's a lot on how much Toronto Tokyo can do, and so far these early signs looking pretty strong and solid for their idea of what they're going to achieve around him.
Yeah, and all's well that ends well. You've got a Medusa Invoker top the net worth charts. No pressure at all on Yatoro. This is fine with me if you're Spirit. Trading Tiny Farm for Medusa, you'll do that all day.
They're not quite able to get in range there for a setup. As VP play it safe.
Nice sentry. Fresh ward taken out. Really well done by Mamposhka.
Lovely little item, of course, found here for VP. The Trinket. Happily stay in the hands of either GPK or Nightfall.
6 wards destroyed already. Yeah, he got the one bottom in the lane as well earlier on, which used to just be like, oh, that's cute, but now as a support, it's so rewarding. Not just the psychological factors, the limitation of the vision, but the golden XP, man. And here's the Shadow Demon effect.
Yeah, talk about golden XP, Yatoro. He's got a lot to clean up here. Very nice for him. And with the lack of vision of Spirit, being able to have that ward control, very hard for VP to make any sort of aggressive move into the triangle as Spirit, so not even as we're seeing a huge rush to take down the stack. Yatoro can take him as he wishes.
See, the top wave was pinged out by Toronto Tokyo. I'm not sure why. Nice movement from the Willow here, just to scout the stack, see what's going on.
No, but what can they do about it? I see that it's happening, but can VP really put something together over it? I don't think they can right now.
It's more about the threat. So many heroes aren't showing that.
And they got a hook shot. Save. Gonna be able to get himself into the Shadow Realm. Put to hold him back. The Tornado, oh, not quite catching him. So Save will manage to get out of there. I'll turn their attention over towards DM, but DM's got the Rift going. They won't have the damage to take DM out before he's able to get safely out of it.
I think you take that, though. There's nothing being done on the map from VP, right? Bottom lane's just sitting there. So they had 4 or 5 heroes in the vicinity, but they're forced to just run away. The Dusa finishes the stack almost. They're just going to stack it one more time, so that works. He'll get 2 free waves in the meantime.
So much farm there for Yatoro, prepared perfectly. Full vessel now done onto Toronto, Tokyo, so stepping up the ability to make these moves, make these plays. VP, they're still trying to find that hit here.
Yeah, blink on Tiny, right? Yeah, this is going to be their first move.
But who do you jump? The setup here, they'll go for the backlines, go for the supports, they'll be able to blow up Mirror. The arena's down. Try for the counter play. Fear comes out, starting to push back Collapse, but GPK's under the tower. They've got the hookshot control as well. GPK trying to run as he's got to get out of it. Save's taken out. They have lost Collapse, so 2 down on Spirit. Combo comes in onto Toronto, Tokyo. It's not enough to kill it. A VP, they'll take 2, only losing 1 themselves. So coming out on top there of that movement.
Yeah, that's a blink reveal, though. I think you're fine with this if you're Spirit.
Well, you're not losing your big calls.
Yeah, and VP, it's going to be tough for them to take these fights. GPK is not really a heavy damage dealer just yet. Underlord, sure, you're farmed, but like, how do these fights work for them? Like, they can get that first pick off, but with Spirit, they have the Disruption, they've got the Purge, the Clock Hook, the Mars Arena, Medusa ult. This is a pretty tough team to run at.
Absolutely, Yatoro, he's going to hit these excellent timings. Manta style after this stack's pretty much going to be done here at 14 minutes in. Ridiculously fast farm here from Yatoro's Deuce this game.
You say ridiculously?
Ridiculously.
Ridiculously. Ridiculously fast. No, you do have a point. And the one danger is that, as we've discussed, if you check out the Mars, he's got, I believe, a Soul Ring. He was going for a hood.
He's trying to get
hood and a pipe. So Underlord, sure, going the same items, but he's farming with just Q spam. Mars really likes to scale a bit better, and he won't be able to do so. It's going to be Medusa versus the world. VP will have a little more help just because this offlaner is going to be so beefy, and later in the game, the minus, it's the damage reduction, right? It actually like removes an item from Medusa in theory. Like so much damage disappears when you walk into range of that Underlord.
It's all right. I mean, it seems
toss out.
Big confidence from him. He's going to get tossed back, but he's able to get the Stone Gaze off, and with this, he'll start to back off. Jump in for the Tiny, but the combo's down, the arena's out. The Fear does come into play, giving Nightfall a little bit of safety. And the pushback Spirit, neither side actually ending up losing anyone, as both are able to disengage. I mean, a fantastic Fear there from the Willow, otherwise Nightfall would have been dead for sure in the arena, but able to save.
Yeah, you can see, they just, I talked about the lack of stuns on Spirit. Well, VP, they really don't have that many either. It's stand in the pit, stand in the brambles, sure, but even with a great tossback, that's not enough to land the kill. Yatoro thought about going back to base, and he was like, wait, I've got enough for a snake, I'll just go farm woods. That's exactly what he does. Big stack.
Just constant income here for Yatoro. Going to be going for that build that we are seeing favored nowadays on the Deuce of the Manta straight into the Ags.
Yep. And this is the net worth gap. It's straight up just because Yatoro can farm Ancients, and I believe as we watch Kingslayer do this, or Nightfall do the same, that's the first Ancient that VP have killed. The first camp. Yatoro, how many has he cleared? 6, 7?
Yeah, an insane amount.
28%. Whoa. Don't know the exact numbers, but stats don't lie.
And in this sort of game, are you okay with this as Team Spirit to have that much wealth on the Medusa? Because it's a pretty good Medusa game, or how are you feeling at this stage, you think, of your Spirit?
Hard to say, really. It's going to come down to execution. I don't think either side has a massive draft or team fight advantage. It's just going to come down to how well you click your buttons. The area control from Spirit is better, but VP have significantly more burst and raw spell damage. But Spirit can certainly disrupt their combinations.
But who are you bursting if you're VP? Because like we saw that last fight, the way it started, it looked pretty ideal, right?
Yeah.
You're tossing in the Deucer. You said they couldn't actually burst or control her before she's able to pop the ult and walk away. I mean, so I guess the Deucer's not really the target.
It's the SD and the Invoker. I like DM too. He gets the pipe, but he'll go for the Atos next to add a little bit of extra control. That's been their issue so far. That hard lockdown makes it so the rest of their spells will just land.
Save, coming in aggressive with the wraparound, looking towards Maposhka. Maposhka's going to get some backup. The team's coming in. Collapse lay down the arena's trap save. over to the side. EMP comes down onto GPK and DM taking out a lot of their mana. DM is going to try for the rift out. They got the damage to take him out in time. Oh, it's close, but they don't have enough. DM able to reset there for him and GPK.
That is sick. That's exactly what they wanted to do. They forced the buyback on Miposhka. Hook just out of range. On target, but falls short.
I did have to buy back for this Miposhka. Not able to get anything going.
He collapsed once he uses Arena. Like, I don't know. That was a bit awkward. And it's the trouble. I'm telling you, man, I hate this build on Mars.
Well, you want to see a Blink or a Yules?
Yeah, a Blink, a Yules, or damage. Because at least damage, it eventually pays for itself because you're now clearing creep waves in a jungle camp in the same time it used to take you just to get the creep wave. But and you're more of a threat. Blink Yules, that gives you catch. You can actually threaten one of these big VP cores. The Hood is just like, well, I missed my Arena, so that was my hero. You know, I'm done for now.
Sure, and it is a build that sort of resigns you to this level of farm, right? You're never going to see this Mars jump up the charts now.
Exactly.
He's pretty much saying, you know what, it's all on you, Dusa.
Yeah, and if you check out Invoker, Toronto, Tokyo, a similar idea. He'll go back for the Midas. I actually really like this, yeah. Because he went for a very aggressive build early on. Fully going Wex, Vessel. You need to have something, because otherwise, if you look at his net worth, he'll fall down to where the Mars is residing at a point. And you'll have this farm Medusa, but VP will have like 3 super fat cores and an AA that prevents a Satanic from ever being viable. Medusa.
I'll see that jump in, immediately caught out by the Tornado. See if they can still catch Mirror. They've got the root down, they're in on top of the Shadow Demon. We're actually going to see an aggressive hook shot in as Miposhka is trying to break the fight up, but Mirror's already gone, and Miposhka, he's going to die for his efforts here as well. So the 2 supports taken down.
Thanks a lot.
They're always going to be able to get the supports. The cores, that'll be the trouble, but I do like the way they're playing. Really nice Dragonlance build as well. I think that's always a good decision when you're playing against a clock and an SD. You want to make it harder and harder for them to actually get appropriate spell usage, and in addition, makes it simple for him to hit in the pit, in the brambles, all the big AoE control of DM. Positioning is going to be key for this Virtus.pro side. And they get a tier 2 at just 20 minutes and change.
They do. Some fast stuff here with the push of GPK's Morph. A 7-7, 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
Very much a game where, as you say, it's sort of the steady pace that we've come to expect. And definitely when we're seeing sort of a matchup between these 2 teams here at the top of the league, some very sort of safe and calculated Dota coming out for them. Toro, he's actually going to look to the opportunity of starting to do the Roshan here with Collapse.
I don't know how much of a timing is this. We're gonna find out.
Can they get away with this? I mean, it's obviously a bit of a difficult one. If VP do come across, they will have a fight to bring. But as we're seeing, Spirit, they've got a lot of combo breaking. They have the Ags on Dusa, the Stone Gaze as well. Toronto, Tokyo, and Miposhka, they're ready to really disrupt the fight if he gets brought to them. And it looks like VP...
You got no idea.
They've not caught wind of the fact that Spirit have been able to sneak in here with the DD Medusa. And this is going to be a free Roshan for Spirit. This is huge.
Oh, yeah. No, it's even huger. It's that DD. I can hear Nahaz, his sigh of frustration in my ears. Why does DD work on Roshan?
Because what, that never happens without that.
No. Yeah. Maybe they make that same play, but you got to figure, like, AA Blast was thrown out, right? Like, that's going to find them in time. Instead, they clear it. And, the win condition for Spirit.
Yeah.
Very obvious. It is all about the Dusa. What's Tiny? Tiny's got Blink Echo, so going for more of the burst style. Yeah, BKB next. Can we check out all the items to see if there's anything coming up anytime soon? But Team Spirit, they seem pretty comfortable going for the late game. The Ags timing so that they can look to take fights also helps the farm speed. Toronto with the Midas. VP, they went for fights. Manta Morph, Blink Echo, like they're in theory ready to go. But how do you go?
It is down the line going to get to that point of how do you take this Medusa 100-0?
Yeah.
I do like what they're doing. I think they have to go this way. They need some sort of crazy outworldish damage. GPK, he is going to be going for the Axe next so they can do the Morph Willow.
Yep.
And that in itself, that absolutely could provide the late game damage potential to really even threaten the Medusa if they can get the Morph Willow online.
Yeah. It's like watching 2 old Roman legions performing attrition warfare. You can see DM just pretty much ditched. As soon as he saw enemy heroes, he's like, oh, I'm just going to try to channel my ultimate. Wasn't able to do so and just gets out. But neither squad can take a fight that isn't on their perfect terms. 5-on-5, probably not even in the cards. Spirit, they invite your aggression. VP, pretty hesitant to give them what they want here. And to your point, yeah, Ags on with Willow, it's never bad. And it will give them the ability to outrange the Dusa.
Yeah.
They'll have all this control and muddle fighting around the pit and then raining in damage. The Trebuchet is firing.
I mean, they're really going to need it all. Yatoro's Medusa is so massive, so early on, you know, just 23 minutes in. And for the Dusa to be where they are right now is, you know, for Team Spirit, I think they're going to be very happy with this early game. They haven't been run over whatsoever. They've gotten away with it big time. You know, Yatoro is just so far ahead of anyone else in the game right now.
I think you're pretty satisfied. Like, I think I came in expecting VP as a pretty heavy favorite, but so far, pretty even game.
I'm going to try with some bit of a poke here onto GPK. And you get the spear. Have they got the damage? Excellent fear yet again from Save. We'll push back the three of them. We'll see. Yeah, with the Rift, they're going to back out of this. They don't want to take this fight. Spirit coming in full force. VP immediately will get themselves out of there off the back of DM.
The thing is, Tiny's been... I keep looking at the minimap as these sorts of plays happen. It's always Nightfall who's farming off by himself. But is that a thing? He has the shard. That was early, just to ensure he could permanent tree grab for farming speed. But is this a thing?
I remember
carry?
sort of early in the league. I think when we started the season, Brian, when he got here, he was on about this. He tried it out and he said, you know what? With the new shard, carry Tiny, it could work. Like with the way that Tiny goes down, you know, you've got this insane amount of armor with the permanent tree grab. There's talents for it as well. Because there is potential there. There is potential to be quite the late game carry.
Well, we're gonna find. I mean, he's been the one farming Ancients.
Yeah.
He's the one split pushing, and he's in spitting distance of GPK on the Morphling. So definitely gonna end up as one of this like 3-core versus 1-core setups. But again, then that minus on Invoker, I'm telling you, it's gonna pay dividends. This game is not ending anytime soon.
No, this is what we want to see. Yeah, we're gonna see this really scale up, and if anything, you know, it's sure it's a 1K lead for VP. I think that the biggest challenge is definitely on the shoulders of VP to see whether they can, you know, weather the fights against this Medusa.
Oh, so far, it's they've had to just call a cab. They're not willing to engage in any sort of bar fight. They're getting out well before last call. I like the build, yeah. You going for Lotus next. Just beefing up. Actually, what's the Lotus for? Do they have a Force Staff on somebody?
Well, I think you just you're looking to just Lotus GPK.
Sure,
right?
but
you want to protect this morph.
You don't have BKB, oh, and you have no Force Staff. So Clockwork of Maposhka, yeah, he might be a 5 position, but he's effectively an auto kill if he catches the Underlord or a support.
See Kingslayer working towards this.
Somebody's the responsible one.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many items that feel good on DM. You know, as an Underlord, you don't really want a 4-staff as one of your 6. But as you say, definitely. You know, the question is whether it's going to be enough just having it on the AA. There's also the option down the line for the Dragon Lance to turn into a Hurricane Pike, but of course that's probably not going to happen anytime soon because it's not a very smart usage of gold on the morph. So many other items that GPK wants to be getting done. And the Yags, very close to being there. It's going to be there in 500 gold.
Just crazy how, you know, one of the cooler things about the DPC and the format, they think this is real, but they're going to find out. Nope. How the regional metas and gameplay sort of take on their own unique identities. Eastern Europe is so much slower than Western Europe, and I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just far more methodical. These teams are not, they're playing mistake-free when possible.
Yeah.
You know, you compare that to the OG Nigma Liquid playstyle. That's chaos.
Quite a nice one here for Yatoro. I think that's one of the ones he'd love to find. He gets the Paladin sword. So now for Yatoro's now got the Paladin sword. He's now got the full Skadi. It's just looking scarier and scarier.
We'll see. VP, like, they've actually eked out a little bit of a net worth lead. This is my big concern. I like the Solar Crest as a pickup, but Mars with just the pipe is really going to be a negligible source of damage later on in this game. It's going to be Yatoro versus the world. They'll have a Solar, pop that on him, the Alacrity.
He's going to have a lot of buffs.
Make illusions of him with the Shadow Demon. You can even see Mira playing with the illusion as if it's a hero, just continuing to pressure this top lane. There's the Ags, so the Willow damage will start to come out. Nightfall with the BKB. Top net worth on his team, truly a carry Tiny.
Oh, farming the wave here, but Mimposhka, he's got the lead in onto him. The spear connection as well, straight into the tree. Nightfall, he's going to get taken out. Farming a little too aggressively on the front, and nothing that the rest of VP could do to keep him safe once he gets caught by that combo. You can see DM. He's going to prepare here for the D push around the tier 2, but they are going to have to defend without their carry now. See them coming in with the wraparound. Toronto, Tokyo, and Yutoro. Maybe see if they can set something up behind. Collapse has got the arena. He's going to start stepping in. He has the ult already. If he sees the chance to lock him down, TM. He's taking full damage here from Yutoro. The fear will push him back, but the BKB's out for Toronto, Tokyo. As they continue to focus in onto DM. DM will get the pit off, but DM won't fall. Yutoro takes down another. So an aggressive zip in from GPK, looking for the waveform over towards Collapse. The arena's down. Collapse will fall. Yutoro continue to pummel into both GPK and Save. The freeze as well for the Stonegazers. GPK's got to be careful. As they've lost Save, GPK having to reset and get his way back to the fountain. We are seeing just the struggles of trying to do anything and trying to fight anywhere near Yutoro.
And you got to be really careful as well as GPK. He's playing against Vessel and Scotty. That's a lot of regen reduction. So the unkillable factor of this Morphling not really existing. You don't do enough damage yet. It's this dire side. Yutoro is just... I mean, how does this even happen? Collapse just runs in. That's the initiation. There's a BKB to Invoker, and even though DM is incredibly tanky, you know, nobody can survive when they're just locked in place for this long.
No, we see GPK trying to go to work with the damage, but the BKB is out for Toronto, Tokyo, and at this stage, he doesn't really pose that physical threat that's going to be able to tear down these BKB'd heroes. As we see here, just no chance fighting against Yutoro here. They have to back off, they have to escape. They are going to need some sort of perfect execution, really, VP. It's a perfect team fight to ever threaten the Medusa. I don't know how they do it.
You and me both, Owen. And Maposhka's played a great game, too. This Clockwork, you know, it's underpicked, perhaps, the way we've seen it played in this TPC. Every hook seems to lead to a kill. Always there with the cogs. Doesn't matter which hero on VP you find. If they're isolated for long enough and Yutoro's able to beat into them, that's going to be a kill. Miroslav always trying to get the defensive disrupts off. They're actually more valuable. You know, they kind of invite aggression onto the Dusa because if you can disrupt Save, you just give him a free manta. More than a manta, actually, of damage. Those illusions hurt. And as Fogged said so eloquently the other day, 14 seconds! They last for 14 seconds. He's very shocked.
This is, well, making sure that Yutoro is also the one getting the gold for some of the ward taken down. So just continuing to do everything to propel the Deuce's farm at all costs. I mean, a few hundred away from having a full Daedalus. VP, they need a big hit. They need a big move. Now he's in with the combo. Gets the jumping onto the Shadow Demon, but actually able to get the self-disruption off. So they won't even be able to kill him off straight away. Mira is still alive, and now VP, after that initial burst, they got to back off, but the arena's out. CTM starting to take him out again. They have to run, they have to get out of it, but they're getting split apart.
Cancelled.
He did. He stopped it. They want to try and take this fight. They will bring down Collapse. GPK getting it aggressive onto Yutoro. Yutoro starting to run low on the mana. He's able to get another snake off, but Yutoro, he's got enough mana here with the mana shield. Miposhka trying to get in to help out. The supports are falling. Can they bring down Yutoro? He's getting low. They'll do it. They'll take down the Medusa. VP with a big brain call to stick around and push on as they'll get on top of this team fight, and they're not done yet. The pit's out to control Toronto Tokyo, waveform in. Toronto Tokyo is out with the Ghost Walk, but Mira will be left behind. VP just, I mean, how on earth they managed to see that opportunity there. An incredibly smart call to say, you know what, we can take this fight after they've struggled so many times, and they were absolutely right.
So I don't know how that interacted, but somehow Nightfall got out of the Mars Arena with that offensive Yules from somebody on the side of Spirit. That kept him alive, may have influenced DM's decision to stay there because suddenly the Tiny was guaranteed to live for that little bit longer. But really, I think Spirit overcommitting on the defensive abilities. They popped Dusa ulti and Arena. The Dusa wasn't really able to be used. They'd already disengaged. You got to be closer and more in danger. And now all of a sudden,
yeah.
into the pit.
Away they go. They've got a hook shot. They can look for some aggressive sort of disruption here. They try and stop VP.
Hey.
Let's see, collapse. Trying to get in on this. DM. Not going to get caught by the Sunstrike. Roshan's down. They'll be able to pick it all up here. VP and already looking for action. Save. He's on top of Mirror. Mirror going to be protected by the pipe. Marina down. Save. He'll die for this. And the space was made. VP able to take everything away from Roshan this time round.
Hook coming in. Maposhka?
Looking pretty dead.
Very
GPK,
dead.
he's not going to go down anytime soon with both the Aegis and the cheese on him. Also close to having the money for the BKB.
Who's taking the shard? Morphling? Maybe? He's thinking about it.
He's holding on.
Should I be
There we go.
generous?
Yeah, he'll
No.
take it. He's going to buff up his game to the maximum.
It's pretty good. Especially in a game like this. You can expect longer fights, so more adaptives, more damage, longer stun. Oh, that's cool. Wait, he doesn't have it. He's thinking about it. Might go the Daedalus. I actually think that...
He's changing, because he got the Chrysalis and he's saying,
Yeah.
you know what, I need a BKB.
I don't remember who...
Yeah?
We were talking to somebody, weren't we? It was a BSJ, was it Owie? Like, this cold-blooded shard for Dusa is just OP in some people's eyes. Because you get the free snake, but it's also an ag snake. So it'll turn people to stone, interrupt, give back tons of mana, and it's a massive amount of damage. And there's so much single target, you can almost guarantee that it's going to proc a couple times in a fight.
No,
Goes to the BKB.
I was going to say, and do you think that is necessary this game? You know, you're playing as Medusa. You know, normally as a Medusa, you don't really want to have to buy the BKB, but this game, he feels it is necessary.
I'm honestly not a huge fan. I think that while the magic damage threat is pretty high, you need to deal more damage. Like, that's going to be your issue. Not how long can I survive, but am I actually enough to kill this Underlord and Tiny? And without a Daedalus, I'm not sure he's right for that. We'll see. There's a lot of damage amplification on his side, the Solar, the Alacrity. Perhaps that'll be enough. But they're going for even more healing reduction. Now with the Shivas, this is a tough game. I think you want to target Morphling when possible. The Aegis is frustrating, but you have so much anti-regen that the Morph doesn't really have Morph available.
Team Spirit's trying to take a fight into this Aegis and Cheats. Yutoro's stepping up. Toronto Tokyo's trying to get out with the BKB. He's got to run. GPK being fully focused here by the Skadi Dusa. GPK, can he keep out of reach? He can. They've got the stun control to hold back the Medusa into the fear as well. Pushing back Toronto Tokyo. Defensive destruction will come out in time to break the combo from VP. GPK will fall the want. Taking out Toronto Tokyo. Can they do anything about Yutoro? Nightfall stepping in with the BKB himself. He's in on top of Yutoro. Yutoro will just have enough mana to get the Stone Gaze off as he pops that and the BKB's out to the side. Doesn't actually have enough mana to TP out himself, so he's just got to run for now. Won't catch Mirror. Mirror gets away. Maposhka will catch him though. Dust comes in from Kingslayer. VP. I'll find the two of them. Team Spirit, they try and bring some action, bring a team fight towards VP, but they do not come out on top of it.
No, they do not. Now the map has gotten very spooky to play. That's going to be a Skadi on GPK, finished in full. And I see, there you go. The BKB on Dusa, right? What does that accomplish? I think he gets away even without it, just by popping Stone Gaze, and his damage output just is not scary. That could be a shard and nearly a Daedalus. Feel he may come to regret that purchase, but we shall see. Halberd picked up on DM, further damage reduction. Really like the way he's played this game so far, and you saw that was a Moon Shard on the Tiny, so
oh yeah,
he is a carry.
I mean, this is the perfect carry build. I mean, if you're going to do safe lane Tiny, Nightfall he's absolutely nailing it here. And he's keeping up in the scaling. You see, you know, only slightly behind that of the Morph and the Deuce this game with as much farm as Nightfall's been able to pick up. Maposhka. He's going to be able to break the combo with a glimmer, but Toronto Tokyo, he gets jumped off to the side.
Again.
That's what the BKB and run there, nearly getting taken out instead there.
And they've done a really good job, mostly from Nightfall, just finding Invoker at the start of every fight. If he isn't able to... Oh, wait,
They still find him, save! He's caught him, that's Toronto Tokyo dead!
No buyback.
Getting caught outside of the base. 70 seconds, no Invoker. 500 or so gold short of a buyback. Spirit, they're going to have to try and hold us for.
I don't know if you can. I mean, you have a Deucer.
You got the Deucer. Oh, they got the hook shot, in fact, getting aggressive. Fabrina to follow up as well. They're looking to try and burst GPK. The BKB is out. Yatoro, can he do enough damage? They're trying to keep him far enough away from DM. GPK is able to zip over in time. With the waveform, GPK will get taken out. Save will be left behind.
Things would catch up with me.
The rest of VP will be able to back off. Successful defense, though, of course, from Spirit. A few casualties here and there on the supports, but they'll push back VP. We're very close to catching GPK, though. We saw the Stone Gaze be a bit of a nuisance for DM, stopping him from really being able to close in onto the range of the Morph to take GPK out. But, of course, as it was, GPK able to get that waveform off in time to get back into the embrace of DM.
I don't think they're going to have any plans on leaving enemy side. You can watch this engagement. Another really good hook from Aposhka, you can see. Tries to get the cogs, but he doesn't even have a shot. Looks like he got chain stunned down, but forces Morph into that bad position. But DM, that's what, the 5th, 6th time we've seen him hop in, be the getaway driver.
I mean, yeah, his riffs have been pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
You know, he's either taken them out, of course, in that one situation, knowing to sort of cancel the ride and stick around.
That was
very
actually
good read of
yeah,
Dots.
good point. That was a great play in retrospect. Like, the fact that they won that fight, this is only cancel, has a really good eye on or a feel for the way these fights are going. Anytime it looks like the risk is going to outweigh the potential reward, just immediately, whoop.
No, absolutely. I don't think, you know, I can't sort of remember the last time I've seen an Underlord just get it right every single time. We're never seeing him cast it unnecessarily. Yeah. It's always absolutely when they need it or when he knows that there's a chance to turn around. He will put a stop to it. So some top stuff here from DM.
You don't see good cancels very often at all. Because it reveals that the team is like thinking about backing, and they're like, no, we're gonna fight. That typically doesn't work out, but hang on.
Tokyo is getting jumped. He's just out of time in the Ice Blast, but it doesn't matter. The physical damage is there with the tree. Another time here where Toronto Tokyo getting jumped by Nightfall. Now with the zip over towards Collapse, waveform in. Collapse trying to run. They've got the control. Spirit, they've got to bail on him. They've got to leave Collapse behind. As we are absolutely seeing, Nightfall, he's absolutely doing his part. Every time, getting this jump onto the Invoker, just catching Toronto Tokyo by surprise multiple times here in this mid to late game.
Now as a leveler, he's going to shred these buildings. No glyph.
Yatoro. Scanning Yatoro quite aggressively here. Stone Gaze off. BKB as well, but he's rather low. Will be able to step out in time up the Ice Blast, but Nightfall, he's staying on top of him. Yatoro, he needs help, but he needs it now. He's out of mana, he's out of HP. That's Yatoro gone. VP, they've broken them down. As we're 4 dead, no buybacks. Okay. They're going to call it. It's over. VP.
What?
I mean, yeah, DM rightfully hyped up off the back of that performance. Very well played by him this game as the Underlord. The real sort of solid block that the team was able to execute around.